tuning into Luminary Sounds. It's your boy Francois the Great. Shout out to my co-hosts Junior Leto and K Don't Play. It's album review time, people. And today we're gonna talk about my man Jay Electronica, who just dropped his album, A Written Testimony. Now, this album has been more than 10 years in the making. I've been waiting a long time for Jay Electronica to drop something myself, so it was a great thing to hear last month, February 2020, when Angela Yee said that she had heard the album and she didn't know when it was coming out, but she had heard it. I was just thinking, it's rumors. I didn't think much of it. But then this past Friday, March 13th, Friday the 13th, I go and I hear the album myself. Phenomenal work, Jay Electronica. Phenomenal work, my brother. I'm going to get into it a little bit here. Now, the album opens up with a really cool introduction with the minister, Louis Farrakhan. He's speaking, and he starts out asking the question, who are the real children of Israel? Now, I won't spoil the message for you, or I won't spoil it for you. You got to listen to the album to hear what he says about who the real children of Israel are. But I thought it was a really interesting way to start the album. And another great thing about this album is Jay-Z makes an appearance on a lot of these songs. I'm not going to tell you how many songs he's on. I'm sure you've heard it for yourself. But another thing about it is he goes uncredited for a lot of these songs. You don't even know that he's on these songs until you're actually listening to the album. And then you hear his verses. His verses are just straight in the zone type verses. He is just spitting fire on all the verses that he's on. A great thing that I also love about this album is the production. I mean, my man Jay Electronica did some production himself. He went ahead and got Swiss Beats. Hit Boy is also on it. My man A-Rab Music is on it. The Alchemist makes an appearance, as well as Karajabin, who actually he uses a sample from as well. And shout out to G-Ray as well, who has also done some production work on the album. Now, the thing about this album here, A Written Testimony, is the tag team of Jay-Z and Jay Electronica. It takes me back to when I heard Raekwon the Chef from Wu-Tang, as well as Ghostface Killah on Ray's album Only Built for Cuban Links. It takes me back to that. Now, I don't really have any comparisons to how the album sounds or anything. It doesn't sound nothing like it, but the way they tag team and the way they work off of each other, it reminds me of that, and it's a beautiful thing. I hope that these brothers collab and work together on more projects, because their spitfire and the way they rhyme and the way they work together on tracks, it's a beautiful thing. I think they got something going, and I hope I see more work from them in the future. I noticed here another great thing about it is on the Ghost of Soulja Slim, Jay-Z says a lot of things that I know a lot of people are going to talk about. And it's really cool, because you could tell they're just speaking from the heart, and they're not worried about what anyone has to say about what they got to say. And it's really cool, because that's the track after the introduction. So check that out. Let me know what you think. Comment below for us, YouTube family. Let me know what you think about that track. Some of my favorite tracks on this album. I really love the Shiny Suit Theory, which features The Dream, as well as Ezekiel's Wheel, which features The Dream. Both of those tracks Jay-Z's on. And then the final track, which is APIDTA. Very cool track. Their way they rhyme is just magnificent. I mean, Jay Electronica has always had bars, so the fact that he put it all together for his debut album, which was long awaited for fans, we didn't know what to expect. We had heard for many years that he was going to drop something. We didn't know exactly when it was going to happen. I didn't know during the coronavirus time. Jay, you done hooked us up. Thank you so much. Rating this album, I will tell everyone, you heard it here first on Luminary Sounds. This album, A Written Testimony, is a classic. I'm going to give it 5 of 5. Now, I want it to win a Grammy, but I'm sorry, I don't think it will, because I don't think the Grammys will give it the great album and the great classic that is due, because what they do is they shun a lot of these classics, and I've seen it happen in the past. I hope it wins a Grammy. I think it should win a Grammy, but I won't be surprised if it does not. This album is a classic. Everybody should go check it out. It was first brought to us on Spotify, on Tidal, excuse me. It's now up on Spotify. It's also on YouTube, as well as iTunes, and Google also has this album up as well. Definitely go check it out. It dropped on March the 13th, which was just this past Friday. Now, one last thing before I get out of here is I will say this, for a lot of fans that look forward to more work from Jay Electronica, the great thing about him is he mentioned that this album only took him 40 days and 40 nights. So Jay Electronica, if you're out there listening to Luminary Sounds, my brother, you can work in quick time. So I really hope we got more work coming from you to end the year out in 2020 as well in 2021. Don't keep us waiting, brother. If you're doing albums in 40 days and 40 nights, no need for us to wait. But that's it. Thanks for tuning in to Luminary Sounds. It's your man, Francois the Great, the musical enthusiast. Until next time, everybody. Album reviews. Peace.